is just fantastic. Captain's Log, Subdate 210326.4. I've sent Warrant Officer Crumble the task of maximizing the anus probe's potential, while I spend the weekend thotting it up on TikTok. Oh, and Crewman Bork's going to be spending the weekend licking a toilet bowl. I think he might be broken. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter, or Twat. Today we have a number of subjects I'd like to go through, but I have reduced them down to the more interesting topics. To start, we're going to go with Boulder. I'm only going to show one tweet, but I've blanked out one word from it. The tweet reads, "I'll bet anyone my salary right now that the pew pew person in Boulder is a right-wing MAGA white male." This tweet has since been deleted. There's a reason for that, so consider this next part a notice to all. If you jumped on this bandwagon during the week, as many did, concerning the incident in Boulder, and then went on to blame white MAGA men for what happened with literally no proof, and only using your own manufactured indignation, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You jumped a gun, and then went scorched earth to try and hide the fact that you used really bad arguments and bad tactics to shame people cause white. People, mainstream media, politicians, the last two are not people so they don't count as the first, all use this for an agenda to ban guns. Like they are the problem in this incident. I will not, for the sake of it, show any other tweet beyond this one, not out of respect, but because you reactionary cowards deleted them before they could be archived. You are utterly pathetic. Jumping to conclusions causes more problems. Your indignation is entirely because you lack the patience for the process. It's why on my channel we have a series called Halls of Injustice. I don't generally cover people unless they've already been sentenced. There are one or two who haven't, yes, but as I indicated in those videos, they were solely there to present the information known, so I didn't have to make an even longer video in the future. Well, I feel a lot better getting that out of my system, so now we can go on to the first tweet of interest. From Keemstar from the 21st of March 2021. How do I retire? Like, I'm starting to think about it every day. The problem Keemstar has is, for someone of his size, he's been cancelled, air quotes, around that word quite a few times. Yet every single time he has survived and thrived. The man is a survivor and a successful one at that. You can hate him, but you can't deny his very blunt in-your-face behaviour has got him so far. Can't criticise that at all. And for the sake of it, the three incidents where I know people have tried to cancel him would include Content Cop by iDubbbz, Content Nuke by Ethan Klein, which was an absolute dud, and more recently for a picture of him and a, I believe, deceased person referenced in a song, I think? You know, it doesn't matter. People are sending him death threats and are trying to cancel him again. I don't support the death threat part, but you can certainly criticise for the poor taste. I doubt that this incident, like any before, will lead to him being cancelled. So he can't be retired that way. Others retire because they get bored. Others because they're able to simply disconnect. I mentioned cancellation first because of the controversy that has surrounded Keemstar for quite a while. That is not a criticism of him, it is simply a statement of what has happened. Another reason I mentioned cancellations because that has actually worked on other creators before. So if you can't be cancelled, how do you retire? For Keemstar, the options are to put all tech down and walk away, if that's what you want to do and if you want to live a different life. I guess it's different when you are as successful as Keemstar is. I probably should have featured this next tweet as the follow-up to my initial statement, as it comes from Alyssa Milano. Hey, white people! It's up to us to eradicate white supremacy. LFG, let's fudging go? Is that what it stands for? Many people in the replies to her pointed out that the ways you need to deal with this is to dismantle capitalism or the power structures won't shift. Others admitting they have separated from their own family because their family are too apathetic on this issue. Others now accepting that there is a mountain of white supremacy in the United States, along with privilege. Many of those responding believe the only way forward is for white people to stand up every time to call this out and protect people of color, to fight like you love them, forgetting that people for the most part are apathetic. They don't care because they have their own lives to be dealing with. There is this delusional idea that people are communities, but most actually aren't. They are not interested in being part of any community. They want to go home. They want to go to work. They want to live their life. They want to enjoy their life, which is selfish, sure, but it is a freedom to choose, much like you have the freedom to walk away from your own family when they disagree with you because you're a total grown-up. Do I think that white people can eradicate white supremacy? Well, it depends on your definition and perspective of white supremacy. And again, because it's quite a strange thing to do, Alyssa Milano talking about white people needing to work together to eradicate white supremacy while she lives it up in California is a bit of a strange one for the blue-collar workers who are just trying to get by. She cannot fundamentally understand the struggle that others go through just to get by, and why by extension they don't have the time for this. To our penultimate subject, we're going to go to politics, and I know I don't do politics on this channel. I do a Moistski Live and I will be streaming there later tonight, but this one is relevant to what's been going on with coronavirus. Chris Rose. For decades, the aim of Eurosceptics was to persuade people into believing that the EU is undemocratic, bureaucratic and lacks transparency. However, over the past 2 months the EU decided that the Eurosceptics didn't go far enough and is persuading people to despise them instead. How are they doing that, you're all wondering? Well, when vaccines were being developed, they dawdled, dithered and delayed on approving them. Because of that, and because AstraZeneca is part British, we secured vast numbers of these doses. The EU's response was to then claim that AstraZeneca creates blood clots, and they perpetuated this enough that the people of France and Germany believed this, the two biggest countries in the EU, which was debunked, which then led to the EU going, "Oi, but we need some. You dithered and delayed, you dawdled, you didn't get on with your prime directive, and you failed." People now utterly despise the EU because it's a trade agreement and they failed to do it, to the point where many countries are entering another lockdown. If you're in the UK, we're still in one. It's quite frustrating, but amusing that the EU are willing to illegally seize our doses because they want their, air quotes, fair share, which is by definition a breach of international law, and I have done a video on that on Moistski Live, also linked down below. So to the final subject, and this one amused me to no end. We go to Orlando Bloom, who was trending. Why was he trending? Because of an interview he gave with the Sunday Times. But I'm going to read the best bits, because this was funny, to the point his own family have been mocking him for this. "I like to earn my breakfast, so I'll just have some green powders that I mix with brain octane oil, a collagen powder for my hair and nails, and some protein. It's all quite LA really. Then I'll go for a hike while I listen to some Nirvana or Stone Temple Pilots. By 9 AM it's breakfast, which is usually porridge, a little hazelnut milk, cinnamon vanilla paste, hazelnuts, goji berries, a vegan protein powder, and a cup of PG Tips. That's tea. I am 90% plant-based, so I'll only eat a really good piece of red meat maybe once a month. Sometimes I look at a cow and think, that's the most beautiful thing ever. My son spends half his time with me and half with my ex-wife. If he's with us, I get him breakfast with school, then I'll have a shower and get dressed. I like to make an effort. No tracksuit bottoms. I have a deal with Amazon where I work on projects exclusively for them. I spend a lot of my time dreaming about roles for myself and others, for minorities and women. I'm trying to be a voice for everybody. I have this remarkable opening chapter to my career, for which I only semi-present. Without my Buddhist practice, I could have easily come off the rails. I've been changing the narrative in my head and feel that I can be the driver of my train. I can set it alight, but I can get the fire crew and put it out. What many people pointed out within this trend was that it seemed like he was just ticking every single pretentious LA box that he could tick. Oh, and because I do math really good, if you say you only eat a good piece of red meat once a month, that doesn't mean that you are 90% plant-based. It means you're 96.7% plant-based. I just wanted to be a dick, okay? As we're done, I'd like to know what you all think. Please do let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to link the Orlando Bloom article. It's really funny. I promise you that. If you have a woke checklist, get ready to start ticking all the boxes. If I don't see you on the political recap stream tonight, 9:30 PM GMT on the Moisky Live channel, have a fantastic Friday and subsequent weekend. And thank you all for listening.